Hello, ladies.
Welcome.
How is everyone today on this bright, sunny
I know,
afternoon?
it's beautiful outside.
Oh, it's hot.
Oh, I don't know
it's
if I'd say
actually not
hot.
It's hot in here.
It's hot in here.
Yeah,
It's
I
really
came
hot
in here and I'm like, ooh, feels like summer. Hi from
Yeah.
Florida, Alice in
Yes.
South Carolina, South Dakota. Oh, you have sun in South Dakota.
That's
Yay,
great.
Judy.
Michigan, all of these places.
Look at that.
Fantastic.
Indiana. Yay. Hello, Susan. How are you
Susan,
today?
welcome. I say this every week, but I should have worn my glasses so I can read the comments.
Oh, you can't read from there?
Not very well.
Would you like to borrow mine?
Not very well.
And there's
Well,
North Carolina and Bellingham and Michigan,
Idaho.
North
The
Idaho.
cold there.
Yay, lots of people.
Yay.
Hello, Donna. Yay, Arizona.
We're
I'm
glad
sure
you guys
you're
are
hot,
here.
Vicky. Yes, I was just down in southern Utah this last weekend, and it was toasty. Not hot, not unbearable
kind of
hot.
perfect,
It was
right?
perfect. It was just
Kind of
perfect.
perfect.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
Catherine from Edmonton. Hello.
Ooh, welcome.
And Nashville. I love this part.
You guys, I love this part too.
really,
I know, it's so fun.
Getting to see where everybody's
It's
popping in
true.
from.
Syracuse
So
and
how
everywhere.
is,
Yeah.
how's everything going?
Fantastic.
We haven't even got to talk really
I know.
today.
At
We've both
all.
been super, super busy.
And you were
Like,
gone last week, so we didn't talk
yes.
then.
Yeah. I have been crazy busy getting some new
meetings.
kits going, ordering some
Yeah.
fabric, doing some meetings this morning. And it's kind of like I came in here and I'm like, ooh, I don't think I should sit down. I'm going to fall asleep. I won't do that. I promise. But
I won't let
yeah,
her.
I'm
I'll take
I'm
you.
excited to be back. I am. I love being gone for little vacations and things like that. But the whole time I'm thinking, oh, I need to get this done when I get back. So when you get back, it's like, okay.
And
I
she
fall
is
back in the routine.
efficient. Like she comes back and gets it done.
Oh, I try.
Yeah,
I try to
you
be
do.
efficient before I go. So
Yeah,
I'm not
you
coming
are.
back to,
You are.
"Ah."
We were talking
Yeah.
about that when Crystal goes. She's got everything laid out.
So I'm not getting a whole bunch of phone calls going, where did you leave that again? Although that still happens. I don't care how efficient you are. It still happens around here.
It's true.
It's fun. We
It's
all
true.
kind of, yeah.
I should have called you just to say hi.
Yes. Well, somebody was supposed to be going hiking with me, but she had other plans.
Oh, it's not
So,
that I had
yeah.
other plans. It was my daughter's birthday.
Yeah, it was.
leave,
It
but
was.
Next
I don't
time.
blame you.
Next time. I'm coming. We're gonna hike.
Yep.
We're gonna
Yep.
look at all the beautiful things together.
Oh my gosh, there was just so much amazing stuff. I do have to tell you about this. I was on this one hike, you guys, and 8 o'clock in the morning, only person on the trail, going clear up this mountainside. And I'm at the very beginning of the trail, there's a sign that says, beware, mountain lions have been sighted. So I have my bear spray already and I'm hiking. All of a sudden there's this big old crash sound. I'm like, ah! And I look up and there's 4 does just standing there looking at me. Kind of like, what are you doing up here? It was like the coolest thing because you're on top of this mountain and there's 4 deer standing right at the top of the mountain. I'm like, that's such a
It's
cool
so
picture if you hadn't
pretty.
scared me.
And the good news with that, like if they're just standing there casually, you know there's not a mountain lion.
There's
there
not going to be a
stalking
mountain
you.
lion.
Yeah.
Right? That's
Yeah.
that. I did think of that. I'm like, well, there's obviously not a mountain lion if there's 4 deer up here. So
Yeah.
Yep. So yep, Linda, it's always takes a
Fantastic.
week to catch up after vacation.
I know you need a vacation after the vacation.
You do because you go
Yeah.
home and you start the laundry and the unpacking and putting everything away and all that. And it's like, wait, I don't want to work the minute I walk in the door. Yep.
Yes.
Hello, Mary. How
That's true.
is it? Good afternoon. I like her little good afternoon.
I know, it makes me happy, you guys. You guys are fun.
Ohio. Okay. So I guess we should start with you are watching 3 Things at 3, where thing number 1 is,
Something to make you smile.
thing number 2 is,
Something to learn.
and thing number 3 is.
Sneak peeks. And I'm going to sneeze.
And here we go.
Oh yeah, yes. So okay, we're rolling.
Sorry about that,
And
you
we
guys.
that gave us a good laugh. We all had to chuckle in here.
Oh,
She
boy.
sneezed right as we said go. That was perfect.
Oh, thank you, Linda.
That was good. Okay, so I have to be honest. Coming up with funnies was just hard this week.
Mine are on
But
my
you-
phone still because they never
Yeah.
made it to Crystal.
But you know what was really cool is we talked a little bit yesterday. We had a little 3-at-3 kind of meeting, and Chris is like, it's something to make you smile. It doesn't have to
funny
be
thing.
like a funny or whatever. And that kind of was like good. That kind of makes it a little bit easier because there's tons
Yeah.
of things I come across every day that make
Make
me
you smile.
smile.
Yeah.
They don't make me laugh, but they make me feel good.
Yeah,
They're
which
like
is what you
warm
want,
fuzzies.
right? what we
So
want.
yeah, but today mine were supposed to make you laugh. So okay, we're going to start. We'll start with this one. It says, I'm retired. I was tired yesterday and I'm tired again today. And that
That
is so
is Crystal
true.
today.
That is so true. Everybody here,
Oh.
I think, is getting tired of me talking about how tired I am today.
No, I was just telling Crystal, my watch tells me I'm lazy. It tells me to
I
get
could
up
not
and
handle
walk
that.
around. And I'm like, stop it.
No, I could not handle that. I already know when I'm lazy. I don't need a watch to tell
I
me
know,
that.
it's like you need to move. I'm like, thank you. I know.
And the problem is what we do a lot of times, you're keeping
You're
busy
just-
and all that, but you're in
just
one
kind of
spot.
Yeah.
You don't get to move. Like you
Yeah.
don't get to dance while you're trying to cut fabric. It's probably
Well,
not
I
a great
fold.
idea.
Dance while I fold.
Okay. Here we go. Can you read it?
Guess what I found at the thrift shop? Beanbag chair. Why on earth? They're comfortable. Remember the one we had back in the 70s? Yeah, we had a slip and slide in the 70s too, but that doesn't mean I want another one.
So you know how I always try to pick a funny for you. That's for you.
Hey, we went to the park. Maybe I told you this already. Did I tell you this? I took my
No.
kids to the park.
No.
There was a big group of us, and they were rolling down the hill. I was the only mom who rolled down the hill.
Oh my god.
And I knew I just held my head so I didn't bang my head. And
Yeah?
It was fun. It wasn't bad.
Did you get
It
to the
was
bottom
fun.
and go, whoa?
I did. I
what's
got to
going
the bottom
on?"
and I was like, that was better than I was expecting. It was not bad.
At least you didn't hurt yourself.
I
That's
know.
good.
Look at me up and
Yeah.
moving. It was great.
Yeah. When I was doing my hiking this weekend, I kind of told myself, okay, there's no giving up. You're going to do this, you're going to do this. So I get to this one place where I literally had to climb some rocks, and I'm like, okay, I should turn around. Nope, I'm going to do it. So imagine me. This is what's so silly. I've got my hands on this rock up here and on this rock here, and I'm trying to pull, and I'm like, if you go backwards, this is going to be so ugly. This is not going to be a
But
good
you
situation.
did it.
I got on top of
You
that
did
rock.
it.
A little bit of skin knees, but boy, I was like, yep, I did it. It felt so good. Then I got up there and I'm standing up and I'm like, and you have to go back down that. You weren't thinking there.
Oh, there you go.
So,
Yeah.
but it felt good. It
Yeah.
does. It's fun to push yourself just a
It
little bit
is.
and do those out of
Yeah.
the ordinary things,
It is. It's good.
even if it's a slip and slide.
That's right.
Yeah.
Let's do it. Come to my house. Slip and
Okay.
slide this summer.
Okay. We have one more. We only had 3 today. So we have one more. Here we go. Granny, come over. I can't. It's raining, but I'm hungry. I'm coming.
That is cute.
That's got to be you.
That is.
I bet
cute.
every time your daughter says, Mom, you're there. Yeah.
It's-
Is he saying grandma yet?
I pretend he is. Yeah. They call me Sweet Nana.
Oh, that's
I know, isn't that fun?
cute.
I know.
Can't wait to hear how he says sweet Nana.
I know. It is fun. Because, okay, I shouldn't probably share this on here, but I'm going to anyway. My son-in-law wanted to call me Saggy. Did I tell you that? He was like, instead
Saggy.
of grandma, he was like, maybe we could call you Saggy. And I was like, do you hate me? 'Cause that's terrible.
Why?
And so my daughter was like, no, we'll call you Sweet Nana. So I know it's
Oh,
Saggy mean, right?
That doesn't even make sense.
Oh,
I'm sitting there
you
going,
know.
why? Why would that? Not all grandmas are saggy.
Oh,
Come on.
Well,
That's crazy.
anyway,
Yeah, I'm just grandma. I'm grandma to all my grandkids, and I'm fine with that. I didn't
Yeah.
want any special names. I'm just,
Yeah,
So I'm
that's-
good with that.
that's
So
all my
good.
grandparents were. I don't know
Yeah.
why we have to come up with them.
I know it's getting
great.
crazy. Yep.
Hey,
Okay.
Jen.
Yes. Thank you, Jen.
Welcome.
So last night I got to help with Comment Sold. So much fun. I love doing it. And we sold the stuff to make the jelly roll rugs. And several people are like, oh, you guys need to do a 3-at-3 on that. we need kind of a, because
Refresher.
we did it.
We did one like maybe a year and a half ago.
Probably
Maybe?
about a year and a half ago. So yeah, I told Chris, I'm like, hey, I can ditch what I'm planning tomorrow and I'll do it. So I went home, I didn't have to do much. I mean, it's really fun. And I already had the Jelly Roll rug at home, but we did sell a couple of things last night. So I'm going to show you what
Yeah, I
we
love
sold. So we're
yours.
going to get started. We'll get started with the something to learn, number 2. So this is the pattern. This is the Jelly Roll rug pattern. And we also have the colossal Jelly Roll rug pattern. Now, I don't know
What?
how many sold last night. So I'm showing them. We may still have some available, but we may have sold them all last night. I am not sure. I did not look at numbers yet. But so this is the one for, there's either small, original, or large, or you can make placemats out of this pattern. So this is the original. This is the first one that came out. Yay. Linda got both. Awesome.
Oh,
And
fantastic.
then we also sold this, which to me is, I started making Jelly Roll rugs prior to this product coming out. This was not out there. Am I showing it that right? There we go.
Yeah.
Turn it. There we go.
That's right.
Okay. So this is 2.5-inch batting. This is a nice thin batting. And this is what you're going to use in your Jelly Roll rug.
And you know what?
inside.
You will think to yourself, I could cut my own batting. I've
You
got
could.
some and I should cut it. That is a terrible idea. We
It
have both
is.
done it.
It
By
is.
by the
If you
pre-cut.
can get this stuff, I mean, it's not like you can't, but if you do use your own batting, you're going to want to zigzag those ends together. You don't want
Mhm.
that batting coming out in the middle of making your long tube.
And it's
So-
just one extra step.
Yeah,
that
it's
is
nice to
like-
just have this whole long piece
Yeah.
that's all done. So I'm not going to open this because this is somebody's. Somebody ordered this. So we sold that. We sold this. We also sold the Jelly Roll tube maker. Now, this is a product that, once again, when I started making my Jelly Rolls,
didn't
these
have that
weren't
one,
out and about. But this thing is awesome. It is like a lifesaver. So it comes in this little package. And I don't know if we sold these out, but we can get more. We will be getting more of them. So that's called the Gypsy Jelly Roll tube maker. And it works with the 2.5-inch strips of both batting and fabric. And then we sold a whole bunch of awesome Jelly Rolls. And I think we did sell out on those.
Yeah, I
but
think we did. This is just an extra one.
yeah, we
upstairs,
we
just
grabbed one. So
to show you what a jelly roll is.
isn't this cool? So this is a Jelly Roll. So when a company puts out a line of fabric, they put out these Jelly Rolls, or there's a couple other names for them too. I don't think Jelly Roll is the only one, depending on the company. And these are 2.5-inch strips wide, 2.5 by the width of fabric,
Mhm.
and it's like 1 or 2 of every piece in
Yeah,
that
in the
line.
line.
So they have went through and cut. So it's great. You don't have to cut your own. But there again, if you have a whole bunch of extra fabric laying around that you just don't know what to do, nothing. Oh, Betty Joe, awesome. Roly polies. That's
Okay.
the other thing they're called. Yep. You don't know what to do with, cut some 2.5-inch strips. So I'm going to show you what this is my finished rug. I don't even have to get up. And this one's pretty big.
I love
It's
these.
been washed
I love
recently,
this
so it's
line
not
that you did.
horribly dirty. And I use it, and it lays, I mean, mine lays pretty darn flat, it's been washed many, many times.
And look how straight
So,
hers is.
Yeah, so
Someone
it's,
else who has one,
has a little bump in it.
it's it's not quite so straight.
It's okay. And I love these colors. I
Yeah,
don't
this
know
is a great
exactly.
line.
This is years ago, pre-COVID. I did
Cute,
this one.
super
But
cute.
it doesn't mean you can't go out and find some fabrics in these colors.
Right,
If
right,
you
you
like
could.
a certain color theme, if you're doing them to decorate your kitchen and it's in yellows or whatever, by all means.
Right, you don't have to use a jelly roll.
Right.
Any 2.5-inch strip.
You just cut your
You
own
just
2.5.
need- yeah.
Thank you, Jennifer. So I'm not gonna do any sewing on the machine today. Everybody's sewing machine's different. Everybody's zigzag settings different and all that. So one of the things I did do prior to putting mine together was just played with my zigzag a little bit until I got what I felt was going to be the best zigzag. So if the machine settings in the pattern says one thing and you don't feel like that's quite wide enough, play with your machine. You know, play with the different zigzag length and width and all that until you get something. Because what you're going to do is you're going to make this long tube out of your jelly rolls, and then you're going to start rolling it, and your machine, you're just going to zigzag right around here. So you'll just take and zigzag all those pieces together, going around and around and around. So Melissa and I are going to give you just a few tips today. So Melissa, what was your tip that you told me?
Okay,
That's
my
just
number
very
one
important?
tip, and I did mine a little different. I didn't do the round. I
Okay.
just did the strips together, and then I
Perfect.
bound the edge.
Okay.
My very top tip is make sure you are sewing with a flat surface, because if you don't, it's going to get it's
Yeah.
going to have
arc.
an arc to
Yeah.
it. Yes, which mine does, and I
Mhm.
don't care. Like, I still use it, but
Yeah. Especially on these where you're going round and round,
Mhm.
you do
You do
want
want
to.
this.
So if you have a machine table, definitely use it. If you don't have a machine table, put like a box next to your machine, or put
Yes.
something next to your machine that's
So
this
it's all level.
right. So this that you're working on stays even with your
Right.
needle. You don't want this to start drooping over the edge of your machine, because then that's going to put too much tension
Yep.
and it's going to
And
start
it just
causing.
starts to arc just
Yep.
a little bit.
So I think that's
Yeah.
probably one of the number one tips in making one of these.
Yeah.
If you have been making the jelly roll, or excuse me, the rope bowls, you know how
you
you
know that, yeah.
have to get that thing turned to get the bowl shape. You don't want to do that with this. So
Yes.
Bridget says, what thread do you recommend? You know, I think I just used regular thread.
I did on mine.
And like I said, this thing has been washed. If you wanted to, you could use a heavier thread. You know, if your machine likes it and you're using the right needle, definitely, you know, use a
Yeah.
heavier thread if that's what you want to do. 100% cotton, poly, I don't think it really matters. Like I said, I have washed and thrown this thing in the dryer. I cannot tell you how many times.
That is me. I just wash it, throw it in the
Mhm.
wash, in the dryer, pull it
Yeah.
out.
Yeah, I don't even hang
Yeah.
it to dry. I just throw it in the dryer with some towels. Yeah, so they wash up really nice, especially if you use a good quality fabric.
Right.
You know, make
Yep.
sure you're using a good quality quilters. What I want to say, close weave. You know, you don't
Yeah.
want to use something
Yeah.
that, like, you don't want to use a linen type or something like that that has a loose weave, because it's definitely going to pull out if you
Yes.
do.
Yeah.
So, okay. So I'm going to just quickly show you. So you're going to take your jelly roll. You're going to start taking the strips and you're going to attach them. So I've just pinned these. How you're going to do it, you just take, yours are going to be much longer. These were just scraps that we had laying around. So you're going to put them right sides together at an angle, and then you're just going to sew. You'll just sew right along there.
Like you're doing a binding.
Right, just like you're putting your binding strips together. So when you open it up, they just match up really nice. So all your edges are even. That's what's really important, is that your strips go together even. Then you'll 1/4 inch cut that excess off. You don't want to have all that excess trying to fit it into your rug also. So that's the first thing you're going to do, is you're just going to sew all those strips together, as many. And you know, some of these rugs take just one jelly roll. Some of them take 2, depending on how big it gets.
Yeah, I think
take a couple.
the large one on here calls for 2
Mhm.
jelly rolls. So
And if you're not sure yourself and you just, you know, you don't want to do a whole rug or anything, I think the cutest thing are those little mats that go like on a coffee table or
Yeah.
on your, you know, island in your kitchen.
Mhm.
Just make a
it's
small
a small one. Placemats.
Yeah, placemat
Yeah.
type thing to
Yeah.
just play and see, you know, get your tensions right, get your zigzags right, all that kind of stuff. Just play it first to get something and get the feel of it.
And if you've got only one jelly roll and you want to do it, you can get a couple out of that, or
Yes.
you do them, like you could get 4
placemats.
placemats
Yeah.
out of one.
Probably. Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's the first thing you're going to do, is you're going to sew all these guys together. Then what you're going to do is you want to make a tube. So that's what this little guy is, this tube maker.
And it'll
And, you know, do you have to have it? No. Is it helpful and will you love it? Yes. So what your ultimate goal is let's do this on the mat so we can see it. You're going to be folding both sides into the middle, and then you're going to be folding that in half and sewing it, right? So you can do that with this extremely long tube. It is
Yes.
absolutely doable. That's how I did it. That's how I learned
That's
to do
how
it.
I did mine too.
And then you're just going to sew right down that,
And just
connect them.
just do a straight strip,
Yeah.
a straight stitch to get the tubing done.
Yes, to hold
Yeah.
it all together. Yep. So you will do that first. You don't want to start zigzagging anything until you get your tube sewn. Make sure you do that. But what this little guy does, this little Gypsy Quilter jelly roll, is you feed it into the end here, both your fabric and your batting that's on the wrong side of your fabric. So put your batting on the wrong side. You feed it in here. If you struggle a little bit with getting it to move, what we did is you just take like a seam ripper and there's a little line right here and you could just push it. So you
Oh,
just
okay.
push the batting right and it pushes it right on through. So then it comes out like this. This is another place. I can't say a billion times how much I love my Wonder Clips. This is great. Yes, you can pin it. Wonder Clips are so much better for this. So what I do is I do this for quite some time until I'm kind of tired of this or I ran out of Wonder Clips, clip them all together, go all the way along, and then I go over to my sewing machine and I sew for a
Stitch.
while. Then I go back to doing this. I just leave this guy on here because all of this has been sewn together.
Right.
This is the continuous strip and my fabric is a continuous strip. So I just keep going. The only time that I run into just a tad bit of a problem with using this guy is when you come to your seam. And so you just want to
Okay.
go, when that seam goes through there, just slow down a tad bit. And
But if
if
it's
you have
trimmed up
to,
and stuff, it's not going to
that's
be
it.
super bulky. Yeah.
if it's trimmed up and you have pressed them to the side or open, either way, then you can just kind of just edge it on and it goes right on through. So you just keep doing that until you're done with your whole jelly roll. You're done with, I would say, the fabric, because you may end up having some of your batting left over. I'm not exactly sure. So then this is what you end up with. So you have a blunt end, and the blunt end is where you're going to start your rope.
Yeah.
And you have the other end, and this is the end that you're going to finish first, because what they do is after you've got this whole thing made, you roll it into a big ball. You roll all these strips up, and so you have a ball, pretty good size. This is the end that's going to be inside the ball, but is going to be the very outside
edge.
of your rug. So what you want to do is finish it off. So what I'm going to do is I left it open just a little bit. I take these two ends, I put them together, or actually, let's see, wrong sides. No, right sides together. And wrong sides together. And then somewhere I had a little mark. I must have pressed, oh, nope, here it is.
Right there, yeah.
And so just a little bit out, you mark a line down. So what you're doing is you're just cutting it off right along here. And I'm not going to do it right now because I'm going to show you a different trick. Okay. So you just cut it right off there. And then you take and fold the end over, fold it back over. And when you sew it, you're going to just sew up that edge like a tube. Okay. Does that make sense? Does anybody have any questions? Okay. So that is how the pattern tells you to do it. Great. It works great and all. But if you've made rope bowls, you know that at the end of your rope, it's really bulky and it's hard to fit that in and have it end nicely. So Kimberbell had a great suggestion on making rope bowls where you pull that covering of the rope back a little bit and cut out just a little bit of that
Oh, the
batting, that
batting.
stuffing stuff, and then you have fabric, just plain
So
fabric.
then it's not the bulky.
Then
Oh,
you don't
brilliant.
have all that bulk. So I found that that's much easier to end, and it can be both ends. It can be your starting end down here because it has a little bit
Yeah.
of bulk when you're starting.
Yeah.
And your end. So what you want to do is before you sew this
How
all
smart
the way
that
to
is.
the end, you're going to open it up. You're going to just take a little bit of that batting out. You'll close it. You'll turn this over
Yeah.
half an inch, close it back up, and you have just fabric down here at the end.
So
Much,
smart.
much less. So the end of my rug, okay, I can show you. And that's where this technique, this Kimberbell technique, I think would be much better than the one that they have. Because this here, Linda, and it's hard to see because it's blue on blue, is how the pattern maker tells you to end it. You kind of angle it, like see how thick it is here, and then I've angled it to a point, and then you just sew that point right down to the end of your rug. If I didn't have the bulk of that batting in there, it would lay much nicer and much flatter when I sewed it down to the end. So the next one I make, I'm definitely going to use the method that Kimberbell uses with their rope bowls by taking that batting out of the end
bulk.
and making it just fabric so it lays much nicer. So the beginning of yours is, it's hard, I cannot tell. I believe this is my beginning. Hard to tell exactly, but you're just starting with a blunt end. Okay, so that end does not have to be really have a whole lot done, or you could do the same thing.
The same thing, yeah.
You could do the same thing. And then what you're going to do, so we're going to pretend like this is our beginning. This is our blunt end. You fold it over. Let's see. You want to have the, okay, so when you get started, you always want to make sure that you have the
Finished
edge to the outside, because when you finish your thing, this wants to be your finished edge. So you're just going to put it together. And because mine is an oval, I'm going to start with it like this. Depending, I've never done a round one. So I assume if you're doing a round one, you'd start with it much shorter
yeah,
to go around it. But the oval, so this kind of starts out depending on how big you want that center to start. And your pattern does tell you how far to measure out. So, and then what you're going to do is when you come down here, you'll just slowly ease in as you're going with a zigzag stitch. You're just going to ease that. It takes about 3 corners, 3 times around before that gets comfortable. Before you're like, whoa, I can actually go around a corner without feeling like this whole thing's going to fall apart. But take your time, go slow, and you can do it.
Yeah, I think that's the other key is go slow.
Right.
So that you're consistent. Yeah.
So you'll just go out, you'll start going around. And the pattern, like I said, the pattern shows you all this. I'm just telling you, ease it as you go around, and then you'll just keep, and you're going to zigzag that first, so you'll know.
So yeah.
And so as you're going, you're just feeding it. So you're just going around and around and around until you get it as big as you want. You know?
Yeah.
And then when you come to the end, like I showed you, if you do that, yeah, Cindy, exactly. If you have done a rope bowl, once you get your center of this guy done, you've got it. You know how to do it. The Kimberbell rope bowls start out a little different on the inside. So because they have that flat bottom.
Yeah.
So you're not going to have to fight that first little turn like you do on these guys, but you've got it. Yeah. So, but I'm left-handed. My directions are always off. So make sure you read your pattern. It's going to tell you exactly which direction to go on that, you know. But do we have any? Yeah, Linda, the beginning is always the most difficult.
Yeah.
But once you get after 3 or 4 turns at the most, you've got it. And then everything just lays really nice. So do we have any questions? I think that's like the tips.
So Bridget's wondering if how you sorted your strips.
Okay, so
you just
there's
did by
2
color.
different, right,
Yeah.
there's different ways to do it. So mine, because I wanted definite colors, I sorted all my strips into piles. So I knew I was going to do the creams first, then the greens. I've seen so many people that just take all their jelly rolls and throw them in a bag.
Just grab and grab.
You put them in a brown bag. You do not look, and you just reach in, and whichever one comes next. So you have a truly fun, scrappy rug. Yeah. Oh, fun. So Jennifer said she did it with camping fabrics.
Oh,
That'd be
cute.
fun.
Yeah.
And you can if you, like I said, if you have scrap fabric laying around that you just don't know what to do, just start cutting some
this is
2.5 inch
great way to
strips.
use it up.
Mm-hmm.
And if you have, I mean, if you're keeping your quilts and stuff, it's going to go with, because you've got all the scraps from your other quilts.
Absolutely.
So it's all gonna
Oh,
just
that's
stay-
true too.
yeah.
Yeah. And you'll sit there and go, I remember that quilt. Oh, I
Yeah.
remember that quilt. Yeah. I bought
Yeah.
a specific jelly roll for mine.
For this.
So it is one line of fabric. But yeah. So any other questions or comments? Okay.
Okay, so
Lori did
Lori's-
hers in
yeah.
the jelly roll order. Perfect. Yeah. I think it's whatever you think is going to look
Right.
the
And
best.
like, who doesn't love to pick up a jelly roll and look at it? It's beautiful.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
they're
so if you're
fun.
putting it just on the rug, it's going to be beautiful.
Linda, I have made baskets with this method. Exactly.
Oh,
I
okay.
have done that. I have one at home that holds a whole bunch of just, when you come in the door, you throw something in a basket. And that's how I made it. I did it with the fabric. I did not do it with the batting though. I did it with fabric covering the rope
Oh, okay.
because this
rope's gonna
batting
hold
is
it.
not going to stand up
Mhm.
as nicely on your sides.
Yeah.
Okay. So if you want to make a bowl, I would suggest using rope because it just has more.
There's the stability
Yeah,
there.
there's stability.
Yeah.
But yeah. Okay.
Okay, Bridget,
Okay,
again,
Sherry.
on needle size. What size?
Okay. So that is depending on, I believe I used a needle that was good for like jeans, like a denim
Yeah, I'm
needle.
trying to remember what I used. I can't even
Because
remember.
it's got a lot of zigzag,
Mhm.
and if you're using one that's bigger, it has a bigger hole, so you can use a stronger thread, a thicker thread. So just depending on what kind
Yeah,
of
so you
thread,
could do like
whatever.
an upholstery thread,
Mhm.
which would be
It's going to really hold it together.
yeah.
But I mean, maybe if this was by my kitchen sink where I was standing, for a lot, but it's not. It's in my piano room, but it still gets used. It gets stepped on a lot. So Betty Jo says she uses a 14. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. So yeah, whatever you're comfortable with in going, and you don't have to hurry. You don't, and that's another tip I'm going to give. Don't pull or push on your rug.
Yes,
Let it go
yes.
because you will break your needle if you're
Mhm.
tugging or pulling on it. Just use both hands, guide it, but don't push or pull.
Yeah.
So, hey, so that's my tips.
And really, my tip was the number one was just keep it stable, like
Yeah. Your
level.
table. Mhm.
Yep, keep it level.
I think so. So, hey, I hope that those of you that got the stuff last night are ready
Mhm.
to spend your weekend doing it. So, Williams soft and stable batting.
That's what I used.
I would not use it. I wouldn't use the soft and stable product
Okay.
which is the foam kind of foamy stuff. I would use like a Kimberbell batting or what is the 100% cotton. I can't even think of the name of it. But yeah, make sure it's batting, not the stuff that you're putting inside of bowls and stuff or purses. That's too firm. That's more of a foam. The stuff that's called soft and stable.
So what's the soft and this? I used a batting, but it's a soft and something.
Okay, warm and natural.
Warm and
That's
natural.
the one. Betty Jo,
one,
thank
Betty,
you.
That's what I used.
Yep, that's what you want to use is a warm and natural. I actually, the last one I made, I used Kimberbells because I did not have this stuff on a roll. It is perfect. It's so smooth. There's no imperfections. It's like, look, like there's nothing that's going to give or stretch or anything. I love theirs. It's a great batting. So that's what I used when I was just making my coasters for my table. But okay.
What a fun one, huh, you guys?
Yeah. So, and if you guys have any other questions about it, give us a call. Give customer service a call, or because I think Lisa I know has made the rope bowl the other day.
Yeah.
So she was talking about that.
Yeah.
And Rebecca and I were talking. Rebecca's made a couple of these rugs. So several of us here have made them. And William, I love your idea. If you're going to make a table centerpiece, you could embroider on it after. Yes.
Oh, what a fun,
especially if you're using a good batting in there that's soft, that your needle's not going to argue with.
Oh,
Bridget, her dog would like a scrap rug. That's sweet. That would be very nice for your dog. So thank you guys for joining us.
Yeah, this is a fun one. Makes me want to make another one.
I know, me too. After I got all this stuff out, I'm like, I have a jelly roll at home.
Yeah.
Debbie, no, you do not want to use a walking foot. No, I don't think. First of all, you're doing the zigzag. and you just want to use a foot that's going to glide on top of this. You don't want anything that's grabbing it because you're doing a lot of turning. You know, you're slowly turning it as you do, and that walking foot grabs both top and bottom. And
Mhm.
I don't know. Has anybody else out there used a walking foot? I haven't on this.
I
I've
didn't
just
either. I
used
just used my
a
regular foot.
foot.
Yeah.
Yeah. So thanks, guys. Thanks for joining us.
Betty
It was
Joe,
fun.
you should definitely come to Logan tomorrow.
Yes.
I think it's supposed to be nice. too.
Yay. Yeah. Betty Joe, you have to see the store. It's amazing
Oh,
right now.
It looks
Yeah.
really cute.
Okay, guys. Thanks for joining us.
Yeah, thanks.
And we'll see you next week.
We'll be here.
Okay, bye-bye.
Have a good week.